Hello, friend. What's your name? Okay, I would like you to say the meaning of experimental psychology.
Okay, experimental psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes using experimental methods. So this simply means that it's the study of human behavior, their mental thinking, and their daily basis of life using experimental methods to prove certain logics.
Thank you. Hello, friend.
Yeah.
Please, what's your name? Oh, okay. I would like you to say the history of experimental psychology.
Okay, experimental psychology emerged in the late 19th century with William Wundt establishing the first psychological laboratory in 1879. Psychology marks the shift of psychology from philosophy to a scientific discipline, which has to do with the use of mental process and experiment to understand the human behavior and understanding of the processes that goes on in the human environment.
Thank you. Good evening, lady. What's your name? Okay, I would like you to say the types of experimental psychology.
Okay. Experimental psychology is concerned on testing theories of human thoughts, behaviors, and actions beyond. Now, there are different types of experimental psychology. One, Milgram experiment. Milgram experiment is this experiment is investigated on how human beings are willing to go far to take orders from authority figures, even when these orders are bound on inflicting pains on others. Two, we have Buvudo experiment. Buvudo experiment, this is the process whereby children are able to imitate violence which they get from their adults. Then three, we have Stanford prison experiment. Stanford prison experiment is the process whereby individuals, their environment and their roles affect their individual behaviors. Thanks.
Thank you. Hello, young lady. What's your name?
My name is Favor Esen.
Okay, I would like you to say the methods and tools of experimental psychology.
Okay, methods used in experimental psychology are laboratory experiment, field experiment, observation, surveys and questionnaires, case studies, test and measurement. Then what are those tools? The tools are computers and software, stopwatches and timers, eye trackers, EEG, functional MRI, surveys and scales, and lastly, experimental apparatus.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Please, what's your name?
I'm Hope Lydia.
Okay, please, I would like you to say the careers and impacts of experimental psychology.
The careers and impact of experimental psychology. Do you know that experimental psychology works in diverse settings, including universities, private research centers, government agencies, and businesses? Their finding has a profound impact. 1. Educational techniques and instructional design. 2. Clinical treatment approaches and evidence-based intervention for mental health disorder. 3. Workplace productivity and the design of users' interface and technology. Human factor psychology. Becoming an experimental psychologist typically requires a focused research PhD, which involves extensive training and research method and statistics. The American Psychological Association (APA) provides resources for those interested in the field.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Since we all have known about experimental psychology, its history, meaning, methods, career, so we will go on an experiment on cognitive psychology, which is memory as a case study. So we all know that cognitive psychology has to do with mental processes, and the mental processes do with memory. So I will be asking questions on the types of experimental psychology. So the ability for you to remember the types of experimental psychology is all about memory. So I would like you to give me the types of experimental psychology.
We have comparative psychology.
We have social psychology.
We have cognitive psychology.
And we have neuropsychology.
So in conclusion, they have been able to understand experimental psychology, and with the help of cognitive psychology, they were able to understand and remember the types of experimental psychology. Experimental psychology assists the scientists to understand human behavior and mental processes.